Right. Hello, everybody. I'm Azlin Bloor. Welcome to another episode of Savour the Flavour. This time, we take a trip to Myanmar as we discover Burmese food. And today, with me on the panel, I have a whole lot of friends coming to join the party. Now I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you, but most of them, in fact, if not all, are familiar faces. So we're going to start with Michelle. Michelle, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you very much, Lynn. You are so beautiful as always. I'm so happy to be with you all, folks. My name is Michel Raibel, or Rival, from the northeast of France. So I am a food blogger with a very popular blog called Cuisine et Cigares. You just can see it right here. And I am also the CEO of WebKiss. This is which provides revolutionary methods and web for entrepreneurs.
Excellent. Thank you, Michelle. Now, from Michelle, we're going to go on to Joy Stewart. Now, you'll all remember Joy and her little dog. Joy.
Hello, I'm very excited to be here. Very excited to see what you're making up in the kitchen today, Azlin. I'm Joy of the Joyous Kitchen. I have my own food blog. You can find it at joyouskitchen.blogspot.com, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you're cooking up.
Cool, excellent. And next, we go all the way down under to Conjure Up Anna Jane. AJ.
Good morning, everyone. It's a warm 11 degrees here. I'm from Conjure Up, and my whole mission in life is to make cooking as easy as possible. So I've got a range of meal bases that are additive-free, number-free, all those things, and I also put up just some great recipes. So conjureup.com, and we've got some exciting things coming. But I'm excited to be here. It's really great.
Excellent. We're excited to have you. And now we hop on over to Greece. Let's all say hello to Nicholas.
Hey guys, I am Nikolaos Bogioglu. Actually, I am a huge food lover and also a link between my small brother, my little brother, our big chef here. So it's good to be here with you.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you all for joining us. Now, all of you, thank you so much out there in the audience. Thank you so much for joining us as usual once again. Now, Myanmar, Burmese food, I think it's probably one of the lesser known Southeast Asian cuisines to all of you. So, I am going to introduce to you a wonderful salad, one of my favorite carb-heavy salad. It's in English, we call it rainbow salad because it has a whole lot of colors in it. Now, without much ado, let's look at the ingredients, shall we? As we always do. It's got a whole lot of different types of ingredients. Now, let's do the carbs first so that we don't miss out on anything. So over here, we have got, if we've got the top camera, we've got cellophane noodles or mung bean noodles. These are perhaps a little bit on the exotic side for some of you, but any Oriental shop is going to stock these. Mung bean noodles, some jasmine rice that's been cooked with a little bit of turmeric, a pinch of chili powder, and some salt. And the other set of carbs, the other group, here we go. We've got potatoes, simple boiled potatoes. Now, traditionally, these potatoes are sliced thickly like that, but I prefer them in this shape because, for uniformity. So those are your carbs, and then we have the veggies. So we've got some thinly shredded cabbage. We have some grated carrots, and we have got some bean sprouts here. Usually we blanch the bean sprouts or zap them in the microwave for a few seconds. But I've left them raw because I prefer them like that. And then we come to all the bits and pieces that we are going to add on to the salad. Some peanuts. Sorry, can't resist. Love peanuts. And then we have got some tofu. Again, I love tofu. Tofu isn't traditional. And we have quail's eggs. Again, not traditional. But I love them in this salad. Crispy fried tofu. So all you do is you get a slab of tofu, cut in little cubes, and simply fry it up in a little bit of oil. And we have all the added ingredients that will come together. And one thing about Burmese food that you are going to find is it's the heavy Indian influence. Myanmar, Burma is of course in Southeast Asia, but you've got China and India over on that side, and it's drawn very heavily on these two cuisines. A very, very common ingredient in a lot of Burmese food is this chickpea flour or gram flour. Now, the Burmese tend to sprinkle toasted or roasted chickpea flour on a lot of their food, and it really does add to the overall taste of the dish. Now, not a whole lot of cooking involved today because a lot of the preparation has been done beforehand. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Someone asked me, how do you dry toast flour or spices? So that's the only cooking I'm going to do today. We're going to go ahead and dry toast the chickpea flour. So we've got a dry frying pan, pretty high heat there. I would say medium-high heat. And all we're going to do is to add the flour on there and dry toast it and cook it that way. Same goes with ingredients like coriander, cumin in your curries and stuff. When you want to dry toast, that's all you do, no oil. This is what's called for. Michelle, are you doing the comments today?
Yes, if you want.
Have we got any hellos or questions that you might want to bring up yet?
Well, I think interesting something here. Nicolas Bojioglu.
Oh, that's a reply. That's a reply to. Hello, I'm your wiki. Don't provide people with wiki information. You got any questions? This is the wiki you ask. Goodness sake. Ask Larry Fidelia. He'll tell you I'm his culinary walking wiki. Right. Sorry. What was Christopher's question? Nicholas was replying to Christopher's question. Can we see what Christopher asked? No? Don't worry. Who have we got in the audience?
Can I ask a question?
Sure you can, Anna Jane.
Okay, so when you're dry roasting the chickpea flour, I think it's important, people might want to know, does it colour or does it just remain white?
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, thanks for that, AJ. Chickpea flour is yellow to begin with. If you can have a look, if we've got the top camera going on right now, chickpea flour is a little bit sort of yellowy, beige and stuff. And as with any flour, as you roast it, it does get a darker shade. So if it was yellow to begin with, it'll get a lightly golden shade. Same here. The difference is very marginal. But what you are going to get is a beautiful toasty smell. And we're going to do this for about 5 minutes. If you find that perhaps the edges are getting a little brown, turn the heat down. But what you need to do throughout the process is to keep stirring it to stop any part of the flour from sticking to the pan. Joy. Is Joy about? Have you had Burmese food before?
Actually, it's a funny story. We had an advisor in college who was from Burma, and occasionally he would cook for us. He did make a salad with mung bean noodles, and we just loved it. Couldn't get enough of it.
Can you get mung bean noodles easily where you are?
You know, I actually have no idea where he got them. Probably a specialty shop.
Yeah, Chinese, any Oriental shop would stock it. What about you, Anna Jane? Do you? I suppose where you are, you can get Oriental stuff easily, can't you?
Look, we're really blessed in Australia. We're so multicultural. We can get anything, really. They're routinely on my shopping list. We eat a lot of Asian.
Okay, the flour is a bit done. I've had the heat a little bit too high for this, and it's just getting brown in certain bits, and so we are done with this. So we're going to turn that off, and I'm just going to transfer that onto that plate there so it doesn't cook any further. So that's it. That's what we're going to sprinkle over the salad, and it's going to give a nice little toasty toasty flavor to it. Okay, so we've got all the salad ingredients, and I'm going to put it together to show you how it should look. So it really, the name itself, Thohk Sohn, Thohk Sohn, basically means by hand. Essentially, you toss all the salad ingredients together by hand. What I like to do is to serve it all up in a huge platter. Let me just move this out of the way without burning myself. Did it? Okay, here we go. Now, so what we're going to do is clean hands, trust me. And we're just going to put a little bit of rice there. And some potatoes. And we've got the mung bean noodles there. Again, it is a matter of taste. How much you put of what is a matter of taste. Yes, Nicholas?
Is this a rice, the one you call it, excuse me for the accent, rice tamin? Is this the...
Yes, in Myanmar, in Burmese, that's what it's called. That's right, tamin. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
Can it be replaced with jasmine rice because it is so popular here in Greece?
Can it just be made with rice? Of course you can. Of course you can. To me, a lot of food is subjective. Go to my blog. The full recipe is on my blog. The link is on the event page itself. And I have given you suggestions as to what you can add and what you can leave out. Now, so we've got here the cubed bean sprouts and some quail's eggs because I like eggs. A little bit more of that. Okay. And if we can make some space for the peanuts. There we are. So that's your platter. So if you decide to cut some cucumbers, add some cucumbers to that. If you want to have some tomatoes, add some tomatoes in there. Now this is the basic, but we've still got more things to go on it. For one thing, we definitely need a salad dressing. So for the salad dressing, it's a matter of putting some fish sauce, a couple of tablespoons of fish sauce, and some soy sauce, and some, some tamarind. Okay, tamarind. Many of you will find tamarind again in an Oriental store. Now you can have them in different types. This is the tamarind paste, already bought from the supermarket. This is the pulp itself that originally looks like this. Those of you from tropical countries will be very familiar with this, of course, tamarind pulp. You soak this in hot water for about 20 minutes and you end up with this. And all you do is strain that liquid out and use it. So we're going to add this. We're just going to add...
Do you think that the tamarind pulp is a better flavor?
Absolutely, because that's pure. Whereas, you know, if you are going to get a paste as in anything else, however innocent, you are still going to have some sort of additive. You know, even if it's not bad additive, you are still going to get vitamin C or oil, even when it's so unnecessary. So that's all we do. We're going to strain that. Exact measurements on my blog, please. And we have a lime somewhere. Okay, a little bit of lime juice. Now, if you were to taste this, it's probably going to be pretty disgusting. That's your sauce. Now we have some secret ingredients. We have, this is dried shrimp floss. Again, Oriental stores. Some of my recipes are not going to have exotic ingredients. Some of my recipes are going to have exotic ingredients. So, dried shrimp. Okay, this is the top camera. Let me just show you that way. Dried shrimp, and this is what they look like. Stink like hell, but I love it. That's what they look like. Here we go. And all you do is you put it into a chopper, zap it for about 30 seconds, and you're going to end up having floss like that. Okay, so now we start putting all the various condiments together. So a little bit of dried shrimp floss and some crispy fried shallots that we are familiar with because I use it quite a lot. And so those are your sauces.
I'm interested, Lynn, in the fact that there's no, it would appear there's no sugar in that dressing.
You can put a pinch of palm sugar in there. To me, palm sugar, these Southeast Asian dressings are so adaptable. How you can have a little bit of vinegar, the parts, vinegar, lime juice, tamarind, fish sauce, soy sauce, sugar, and it's completely up to you in which proportion you want to add them, what you want to leave out. In the recipe you'll find on my blog, I did say put a pinch of palm sugar in there, and I left it out here, whichever way you want to do it. Now, and now we have some yummy peanut butter. This is homemade peanut butter. There's not much we don't do homemade here. Now what you need with this is you need to lighten it ever so slightly with a little bit of vegetable oil. If you try and lighten peanut butter with some water, chances are it's going to seize up and harden. So a bland, tasteless vegetable oil. Michelle, have we got any questions from the audience, Michelle?
Not really, but about the fish stomach sauce, we have P. Matthew Stinson, who says, fish stomach sauce like they have in Thailand?
Yes. Matthew? Yes, exactly like that. You have fish sauce right across Southeast Asia, called different things in the different countries, but that's exactly what we mean, fish sauce. It's not fish stomach sauce. It can be made with anchovies, it can be made with sardines, and just left to ferment. I actually have a recipe of how to do homemade on my blog. Okay, here we go. So these are the condiments. Who have we got in the audience today, Michelle? Could you name a few people, please?
Yes, of course. We have Larry. I want to say hello to Larry. Larry Fournier. He says hello to everybody. And we have Carmen Mandish, Christopher Vogelman, Sunny Cadwallader. We have Gloria Franco Reynolds. And many others, and hello to everybody.
Okay, marvelous. Hi, everybody. Carmen, what are you drinking tonight, then?
Oh, that's a good question, because we have Carmen Mandish. She asked you, what would be a good beverage to go with these flavors?
Personally, I'm a huge fan of sparkling wines when I have Southeast Asian flavors. A light beer would be perfect as well, but I am not a beer drinker. So any beer drinkers out there, feel free to tell us what you think. In my experience, a light Riesling always goes well with Southeast Asian flavors as well.
Right.
Here we are talking carb heavy. Now this is it. Oh, and of course we have your toasted flour. So this is it. This is your salad.
You were talking
Of course, Southeast Asian food, you never go too far away without having some coriander.
Lynn, one more time. I was talking last week about cava. These are sparkling wines, Spanish sparkling wines, and they are rosé, you know. Yeah. So I think that they go pretty good as well with what you are making tonight.
I would definitely agree with that. Okay, so this is it. This is your final salad. As you can see, that's the platter. So when I have a party, to me this is a perfect party dish. When I have a party, I dish it up like that with all the various condiments on the side. Now, toss by hand, right? So you take a little bit of rice, you take some potatoes, you take some mung bean noodles, you take some bean sprouts, cabbage, carrots, lots of peanuts, because I love it, some tofu. So you see, it really is up to you what you put in there. And now we have some sauce, some of the sauce that we made. So you sprinkle it all over, and some peanut butter, diluted peanut butter, and some shrimp floss, and some crispy fried shallots. That's your salad. Now, in Burma, you are going to mix it all up with your hand.
Can I just ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Where did we use the chickpea flour?
And we're just coming, and chickpea flour, once you've tossed it, it's all right, don't worry. When you've tossed it all up, chickpea flour goes with a sprinkle there. And in my experience, for the first time, coriander, the first time someone has this, they're really not sure about it. Because it's so different. All the carbs in there and all the different toppings, definitely the toasted chickpea flour is completely different. But when they've had the first round and they go for seconds, and it's interesting how they've already developed what they like and what they don't like. And you see them going for a little bit more shrimp floss or perhaps a little bit more toasted flour, really completely depending on what their taste is. Now, one other thing that you can, of course, add to this mix as a condiment is chili. A little bit of homemade chili oil. This is homemade, but of course you can use shop bought chili oil. Can you see that on the top camera? There you go. Or chili flakes. If you don't have chili oil, chili flakes. Simple. That's it. That's your rainbow salad. Burmese rainbow salad. And because I love quail eggs. That's my weakness. I love them. I can eat a dozen all at once. Ta-da! All done. Rainbow salad. Pretty easy.
Well, I'll have to go back to bed hungry.
I think you're going to have to. Now, the thing about the salad is, you do have a lot of prep work going into it. Well, I say a lot. It's only really in terms of getting things together. Cooking the rice, doing the potatoes, the cellophane noodles, cutting the vegetables, and then it's all about bringing it together. And because you're letting your guests serve themselves, that sort of cuts the work in half as well.
So you'd never Sorry, you'd never, because in Australia, as you may not know, Azlin, but we would tend to assemble everything and then people would just take some because it may not be the only thing on the table. So could you assemble it as you would a fabulous green salad?
Mix it all up and put it out there and people would just scoop it up. Is that what you mean? Yeah, absolutely, because that's how it's really eaten. In Burma, in Myanmar, these are sold on the roadside stalls, and you can just buy a packet of it, all of it mixed up. And you know, sometimes you get a fork, most of the time you don't. So you know, you eat it as you go along. So yes, absolutely, you can mix it up. And to me, it's best served at room temperature. But if you wanted to make all of it up the day before, put it all in the fridge and assemble it just before your party. There's no reason why you can't. Potatoes, once they've been cooked, they'll turn brown or black. So as soon as they're cooked, drain them, dump them in cold water, squeeze some lemon juice, straight in the fridge until you're going to use them. Then you drain them and use them, and they'll be perfectly fine in terms of color. That's what I've done. And you can see, still perfect color. Alrighty? It's like being a class. Any question, children?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, tamarind might be a difficult thing for some of us to find. So I was wondering if you could just speak to the flavor of it and if there are any possible substitutions.
Absolutely. Vinegar. Vinegar, malt vinegar, plain clear vinegar. Don't go for any strong flavored vinegar. In fact, in Thailand, pad Thai is quite often made. Pad Thai sauce is quite often made with vinegar and fish sauce instead of lime juice and fish sauce. It's quite it's a fairly common substitution recipe. Right. That was our first recipe. Now, very quickly, let me check the time. 8:25. The next recipe is a very quick chili dip. Fresh red chilies is what the recipe calls for, but here I've got some marinated chilies left. We've got lots of chilies, so these chilies have been marinated. You can chop them in a little chopper to get ground up chilies, or you can have them in big pieces. So we're just going to chop them up. As fine as you like, or not, as the case may be. Okay, so there we are. Those are your chilies. And now we are going to add them up, add lots of flavors into this. Mind the noise. A clove of garlic or two, really depends on how much you'd like. There we go. Some garlic. And because this is in vinegar already, we don't need any extra vinegar, but we do need some lime juice. So that goes in there. This becomes a dip. And some lime juice. And of course, the fish sauce. Don't leave home without the fish sauce if you're cooking Southeast Asian. And some soy sauce again. And this is going to be spicy. This is definitely going to be spicy. A little bit of palm sugar or white sugar if you don't have any. And then we sprinkle some herbs all over. Really, I was meant to make that in my bigger bowl, but the bigger bowl's been used up. So here we go. This is your chili dip. And a little bit of coriander, a little bit of spring onions, mix it all up. Now add a little bit more soy sauce, add a little bit more fish sauce for a more watery dip. This is great for barbecues, and my personal favorite is flavored mayo. Again, homemade mayo, but of course, shop bought is perfectly fine.
So we have a comment from Patricia A.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I find the use of malt vinegar very interesting in the flavor profile. Does not seem to be a traditional flavor. Interesting.
Traditional flavor in? Oh, okay. Actually, it is. I get what you mean, but it is actually very widely used in Southeast Asian cooking. There you go. Flavored mayo. And what have I got that I can dip in there? Some cabbage. That's my favorite way of eating this chili dip. I'm sorry. I love mayo. So there you go. A quick and easy dip. Now, there are so many different types of chili sauces and dips in Southeast Asia. With ginger, without ginger. But they all play around that hot, sour, salty, sweet, and sometimes bitter flavors. That's what you get in Southeast Asia. Can I got a question?
Yeah, I do. I was interested. I thought maybe that they would use some sesame oil in Burmese food.
Yes. Here. the sesame oil is not a traditional, perhaps a traditional flavoring so much in Burmese food. You do find it in the northern part of Burma. So we're talking Myanmar. We're talking. I've lost my Burmese cities. We're talking north of Burma. Go check the map. Anyway, so what I did is this. Okay, one of the basic ingredients in this rainbow salad. Back to our earlier recipe. One of the basic ingredients is these little fermented soybean cakes. I have never been able to find it here in the UK. So that's what the peanut butter paste is for, and that's what the sesame oil is for. So what I do is I cook the mung bean noodles, and I just add a little bit of sesame oil, which it had already. So full recipe on linsfood.com. The link to the recipe is on the event page itself. So you want to know more about the recipe, you want to know more about Burmese cuisine and the cities that I cannot think of, go to linsfood.com, and that's where you'll get more information. Now, on the trailer on the event page itself, there was a picture of some beautiful temples. Now, these temples with a steep stupas, they're called. The picture of the temple that I had, that temple is apparently reported to have Buddha's hair built into its stupa, and it's got over 4,000 diamonds built into the whole building itself. So I think Myanmar is a fascinating country. You guys, ought to look it up a little bit more. Now that tourists can go back to Myanmar for visits and stuff, perhaps more of us might actually make a visit there. Right. Do you guys have any questions, Michelle? From the comments. Any comments? Any questions before we go, Michelle?
Yes, Patricia says again, not something that I would have thought. Interesting to know about the malt, and we'll definitely try this. As for the mayo, I am totally in your court as entertainment. Thank you, Patricia.
AZ, it's AZ Entertainment, i.e. A to Z Entertainment. Right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as I said, more information on Burma, on the background to the recipe, on alternative ingredients, etc., all on the blog page. Okie dokie. Thank you so much for joining us. Now I'm going to pass the stage back to each of the panelists, starting from Michelle.
Okay, so thank you, folks. So I was happy to see you all again. You, Anna Jane, Joy, yeah. Do you hear me? Yes, Joy, and Nicholas, and of course Paul, that we don't see, and you too, Azlin. So hope I will see you again soon. So bye bye, folks. Bonsoir et à bientôt.
Excellent, AJ.
Look, I just wanted to say thank you so much, because that's an absolutely delicious salad, and it's something that I'll cook. And I love those Asian flavours, and hopefully I'm looking forward to interacting with some of the comments that people make after the show.
Absolutely.
Come and see me at Conjure Up Food.
Absolutely. Yes. Those of you out there, have a look. Go check out Anna Jane's profile. She does a lot of different types of sauces and packets and tins and stuff all the way where you are. Do you do different types of?
Look, they're 4 meal bases, but I've just done a photo shoot of multiple things that they can do. So, and
you love Fijian food, don't you, AJ?
I do. Fiji's like
So we're getting AJ to sort out her technical side, and then she's going to be cooking some Fijian food for us one day. Yeah? Deal?
Yep, done.
Cool. Right, now over to Joy.
Thank you so much for sharing a scrumptious recipe, Azlin. As always, I look forward to another hangout, and bye from me and Lucas. Joy's Kitchen.
Lucas. Bye, Joy. Thanks. And now we're going to say goodbye we're going to go over to Greece, because next week's show we are in fact headed to Greece. we are going to have a feast prepared by Nicholas's brother Odysseus at a Greek restaurant. So, Nicholas, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, first of all, thank you for having me here. It is so much fun, especially the very few minutes before we go live. It is super fun. But yeah, at Azlin's next episode, we will have Odysseus cooking a very traditional recipe. I will not reveal it yet, but the whole scenery and the whole event will be straight from a traditional Greek restaurant. So it is going to be amazing.
It's going to be hot. You don't want to miss next week episode. 2 young Greek gods cooking for us. What more can you ask for? Righty-ho. From me, Azlin Bloor, Savour the Flavour. We will see you next week. Oh, a quick thank. I always forget. Paul Gossage for doing the show for us. The production, the frames, etc., etc. It's all done by Paul. Thank you, Paul. I'm sure you can hear me. To the rest of you, thank you so much for joining us. And I will come over and say hello, etc., in the comment stream in a bit. Thank you so much. See you guys next week in Greece. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye. Au revoir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.